I don't think I've ever done a video on Heroclix. I know I talked about it on the show a couple times, but I'm a big fan of the Sentinels, and with Days of Future Past coming out, they put out these Sentinel scenario packs. Pretty cool thing. There was one of these several years ago that came with a bunch of figures and the Sentinel. These ones come with the Sentinel and a bunch of Pog figures, and you have to use your own stuff against them. But anyway, I've already opened this one up, taken it out. You can see it's empty, but I'll show you what comes in there. Alright, so here's a look at everything that came in the box. You have your map, which has an indoor and an outdoor. Your Pog sheets, which I'll go through in a minute. This one's kind of unique in that you get all these different parts, because the figure itself actually comes apart. And you can rebuild them in a variety of different ways, different pieces to make them look battle damaged, or basically so they don't all look the same. They give you an offensive and a defensive dial. And then the cards. Kind of annoyed with the character cards in this one. You get this gigantic package. You have this gigantic box and this tiny little card, yet for some reason they still felt the need to fold the cards in half, so they have a big crease down the middle of them. Really annoying. These probably aren't going to focus too well, but on the first page we got heavy and light objects. They're actually pieces of the Sentinels. There's an arm and a hand. If you have the old Sentinels, you have extra hands from those, and you get the extra arms from these guys, so you can always use 3D objects for them in place of the tokens, which I plan on doing. Then we have our ultra heavy objects. There's a torso and a head. Not sure why they consider them the same weight, but hey. These are kind of the part I was excited about. Instead of those old wild Sentinels, now we got some real Sentinel Pogs. These ones are Sentries. You get 6 of those. And they have the new stacking mechanic. On the back they have the special rules for them. Focus. When they're stacked they get barrier. Then we have a sheet of the Sentinel Hunters. Another sheet of tokens. There's 8 of those. And the Sentinel Hunters have the same mechanics. When they're stacked they get plasticity. And when there's a mob they get the capture ability, and the mob equals 4. So if you stack 4 of them up they gain the capture ability. Then we have our mutant protesters. You get a sheet of those. And they have a ability on the back here that basically X-Men or mutants, X-Men or Brotherhood can use Mastermind against them. And then lastly we have the human protesters. 2 sheets of those. And they have an ability that when they're stacked, characters within 2 squares that are Brotherhood of Mutants or X-Men can't do pushing damage. I haven't actually gotten a chance to play the scenario yet. I just picked the thing up, but wanted to add a couple to my collection of Sentinels. Definitely because of the cool mechanic with the dual dials. And what it is during the course of the dial they have a option to switch back and forth. The offensive mode does a lot more damage but can't take as much abuse. The defensive mode obviously has much higher defense but not nearly as good of offense. And they have different various abilities depending on which mode you're in. The one even has an ability that lets it summon others. So, kind of neat. I can't wait to get a chance to play the scenario. Always nice to add more to my Sentinel collection. I'll throw a picture up. It's an older picture, but it's got a decent amount of them in there just to give you an idea how much I love my Sentinels and how many I have. Definitely, if you're interested, check it out. There's a whole set of Days of Future Past that goes with it. I think it's a 45 figure set. Comes in a gravity feed. And a lot of cool stuff in there. The ultra rare chase figure there. Nimrod, of course, is one of the ones I want for my Sentinel collection, which I'm probably never going to see. But definitely worth checking out.